The wobble is winding down as we've reached the WNBA Finals, and I couldn't be more thrilled to chat with Hayley McGoldrick as we get to this hard-fought finish between the Las Vegas Aces and Seattle Storm. Quickly, Hayley, scale of 1 to 10, how pumped are you for this final?
I mean, I'm like a 13 at this point. Everyone figured that it was going to be Las Vegas versus Seattle in the final, but to actually see it, they've definitely taken different roads to get there. But it's going to be definitely a hard-fought battle. During the regular season, they had the exact same record, but Las Vegas got the edge from those wins. So it'll definitely be an exciting thing to watch.
You mentioned it was a different path for both teams to get there, and I wanted you to maybe summarize a little bit of this playoff experience for both sides for the people if they're just kind of getting caught up. We'll start with the Las Vegas Aces.
Las Vegas went through a bit of a rebuild. You know, they just got Angel McCoughtry, who played in Atlanta for her entire career. They just got her last year. They got Jackie Young, who's been a good bench player. They're really a well-rounded team. Obviously, Bill Lambia, their coach. They definitely know what they're doing. They have the talent. They're just a new team. And I think trying to find that cohesion in the last 2 or 3 seasons has been a bummer for them. But this season, they finally figured it out, and here they are.
The Seattle Storm, on the other hand, not their first rodeo, going for their 4th WNBA title and their 4th finals appearance, which is just nuts to me. Why do they have such a good shot, and what was their playoff experience like?
Well, like you said, they're a veteran team. They have so many players who, obviously, they have Sue Bird, who's, you know, one of the greatest of all time. They have Breanna Stewart, who's just insane, dropping like 31 points in a playoff game. Their last game, every single person who dressed for the game scored a point. Having that team that's so well-rounded that everyone, bench, starter, whoever you are, you can perform, that's the difference maker. And obviously last season without Sue Bird and Breanna Stewart, that had a huge impact, of course. That's why they didn't win last year. But they came back for vengeance this year.
I couldn't be more excited to watch Wilson versus Stewart because that really feels like the big battle here. How tight was that MVP race for you? Because Stewart did finish second runner-up.
It was super close. But Wilson, she's the same age as me. She's only been in the league for 3 years. And the fact that she's led her team to the first WNBA Finals in their existence, and she's 24 years old, that's amazing.
And if you haven't seen the moment when she finds out.
Averaging 20.5 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, led the WNBA in blocks and second in scoring, and helped lead you all to the #1 seed. I am proud to present the 2020 WNBA MVP award to A'ja Wilson. Congratulations. Congratulations. Watch out, it's heavy. Congratulations.
She was overwhelmed with emotion and an incredible player. I don't know how much stock, Hayley, you put into like the regular season matchup between these two. I know that Las Vegas won both, but Sue Bird wasn't in the mix for either of those games. How big of a difference maker is Sue Bird?
For somebody who's about to be 40 years old, she's still putting up double-doubles not every game, but in the playoffs especially, she's been putting up those numbers as well. You kind of write her off because, you know, this is probably her last season. You don't know if she's going to play after this. Obviously, she's here to win. If she doesn't know what's coming next for her, she's here to win. And when she's putting up those numbers at 40 against people who might have, you know, not gone through injuries, she had to miss all of last season due to injury, and she's come back out here and played the same way she has for the last 20 years.
One thing we've talked about in all major sports at this time is how difficult the bubble situation is. Put in the mix as well the world that we live in right now and the efforts that the WNBA is making for social justice while also trying to win a WNBA title. With that in mind, Hayley, how important is experience, or do you throw that right out the window? Because on paper, Seattle is definitely the more experienced team.
I think it definitely obviously does come in handy. I think a lot of people who are being thrown into the bubble with all of this as well, you know, like Laisha Clarendon said, I would love to not have my hair politicized or my skin color politicized. I would love to just shut up and dribble, but that's not the reality. But I think being in this bubble and having this experience where you have to play a game every other day, obviously injuries have been terrible in the bubble, and there's been so many people whose seasons have been cut short, but being able to have experience obviously makes it easier to be able to play, you know, a game every other day.
I've got to ask, Hayley, prediction time. How do you see this series going?
That's a tough one. I want to believe in Las Vegas. They've made it this far, but Connecticut, who was a 7th seed, everyone had written them off, including myself. They took it to that game 5, and it was a 66-63 final. Alyssa Thomas was playing with 2 torn labrums and a dislocated shoulder and still putting up like
insane.
She's incredible. I think Seattle is going to take the edge on this one, but I can still see it going to game 4 or 5. I don't see it being a sweep like it was in Minnesota.
Game 1 goes on Friday. Hayley, the people can find you at Goldie on Sports on Twitter. I know you'll be contributing to sportsnet.ca as well. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you, Danielle.